When writing copy, we use a 9 point buyer psychology copywriting checklist, if you will. So, in the next couple of weeks, I'll talk about all of those nine checklist items. I'm going to start off at the top of the list with the first item, which is too good to be true. And there is a huge historical evolutionary perspective on why this checklist item matters so much. 20,000 years ago, the way human beings were living in tribes, we were foraging, we were hunting, and there was significant life or death implications in the choices that we were making. And if you made a wrong choice, that would be the death of your death. So imagine if you were kind of traveling and you were looking for a hunting ground and you discovered something that looked like lots of animals. You don't expect this to be the case because normally you don't find this. Instead of kind of licking your chops and saying, "Oh my God, I found this wonderful opportunity," our brain was conditioned because we were so risk averse to say, "What am I missing here?" It is that sense of caution that brought us to the modern age. Now our brains have not changed, so we still think from that perspective at a subconscious level. And but the way marketers are marketing, we tend to focus a lot on these incredible claims, many of which are backed scientifically. So they might be factually true. So, for example, if you launch a new vacuum cleaner that is 75% better than other competitors, that might actually be factually true. But our brains are designed to protect us and to protect our wallet, and therefore our brains will be cautious when they see that kind of a claim because it would seem like too big an improvement. And usually marketers would just make that claim and just move on, and a subset of people would just buy the claim and they would make the purchase. Now remember, we're not trying to convert people that are already convinced. We're trying to convert people that aren't convinced. And so then the question becomes, how do we address this? And this is why we have this as a checklist item, too good to be true. So the way we kind of analyze the copy is we go through every single word in the copy, and then we kind of ask ourselves, does this claim sound like it's too good to be true? And it could be multiple claims. And if we find that something is in that category of too good to be true, we either add more context to it. So we increase the copy length to actually explain how we got to that 75% improvement so that there's supporting evidence. Or we'll add something like we'll add a hyperlink that'll say, how's that even possible? And when you click on it, it explains it in great detail in a pop-up. The advantage of this second approach is that, for someone who is just looking at the top lines, a skimmer, and just looking at the top line information saying, 75%, that's a really good improvement, I'm going to buy, they will ignore that link of how is that even possible. But someone who is skeptical, which keep in mind is the audience we're trying to convert, will not only will they pay attention to it, they'll click on it, and then we have an opportunity to actually convince and convert them. And I'll give you another extra little bonus hack. So in the pop-up, where you explain to them how it's actually 75% better, my recommendation is at the bottom of the pop-up, ask a simple question. Did we address your question? Because remember, we know why they came here. They came here because they want to understand how we're making that claim. And we've made some explanation for how that claim worked. At the bottom of it, you just ask that simple question. Did we address that question? Yes, no. And then in your backend, collect all those responses. What you're getting now is you're getting, not only are you convincing these skeptical buyers, you're actually collecting feedback. So if you look at the data after 30 days and you find that 85% of people said yes and 15% of people said no, that's great. That means your sales pitch worked. But if it's like 50-50, for example, then you're like, oh, my sales pitch is not working. You can go back and you can rework the story and keep on reworking the story till you've explained it in a way that makes sense to the buyer. Thanks.